Hey, I'm Stephen Michael, and welcome to another episode of Filmmaking for Dumba. In this episode, I want to dive into film set etiquette. Usually going on set as a beginner or your first time, whatever you want to call it. You're going out there with so many questions in your head, you're wondering like, all right, where do I go? What can I touch? You don't know what to do. On a film set, there's a lot of moving pieces, so you want to make sure you're going out there prepared. So I put together this little list to help you be prepared as possible for when you're going out there on set. Rule number one, keep in mind you want to wear all black or you want to wear dark colors. You don't want to go out there wearing anything too bright or reflective because we're on a film set. You're working with lights, the camera, it can pick up reflections. If you're wearing something shiny, something can bounce off you and go into the scene and it's going into the camera eventually. So you just want to avoid all that stuff. So just wear all black, which is going to absorb the light or absorb colors, or just something very dark. Don't be too distracting on set. Nobody out there cares what you're wearing. Most likely you're probably going to get a little messy, maybe depending on your department, but no one cares what you're wearing. You do want to be comfortable, so wear all black. Rule number two, absolutely no running. No matter the circumstances, you do not want to run on set. Why? Most importantly, it's a safety reason. You don't want to trip over cables. Tripping over cables is very, very possible. Most likely, cables are being ran from all different directions. So no running on set. You also don't want to panic other people. Like, people don't know why you're running on set. They see you running, like, that might start putting other people in a frenzy. We're already in, fighting with hours and fighting with time. So don't put everybody else in a frantic just because you're trying to get from one side to another. So no running. You don't want to, and plus you don't know if somebody's coming around the corner or coming from anywhere. Like I said, it's a lot of moving pieces. You don't want to knock anything over on set from the vibrations that you're running. You don't want to run into any important equipment. You don't want to knock anything down. Like I said, you do not want to scare anybody. So absolutely no running at all. If you have to walk fast, but do your best not to run. Rule number three, communication. This is, all the rules are important, but this is very, very important, is to communicate everything you're doing. So if you have to step off set for any reason, like you have to go use the bathroom, just communicate that you're going to the bathroom. You don't want your department head or anybody to start looking for you like, hey.
Hey!
Huh?
Come in here! Where you at? In the bathroom.
Where's John at? We need John to bring scissors. We need John to bring a lens. We need John to do a C-stand. We need John to do this or that. But you're in the bathroom. But if you communicate with somebody, they either obviously know that you're in the bathroom, they can wait for you to get out the bathroom, or they can ask somebody else or just figure out another solution while they wait for you. Communication is very, very key. So it's important that you learn the different terms and terminology that's on set, things that people use. So 10-4, copy. So just make sure you're communicating everything all the way through. So like I said, if you're running something, if you have to run off set, just make sure you're communicating off set. An extension of communication is, for an example, if you're in AC and you're exchanging lenses or you're exchanging something on the camera and the DP hands you the lens, you want to make sure you're looking him in the eyes, you lock eyes, and you tell him you got it. You do not want to drop the lens. You don't want him to think that you have a lens before you have full secure of the lens, and then some type of miscommunication happens. So if you're passing something off, ask the question, you have it, and then make sure you respond, I got it. Make that eye contact and just, keep the gear safe, keep yourself safe, keep this well-oiled machine flowing, keep things going. Other extension of communication, if you're lowering down the C-stand or moving something from above you or above an actor or anything, make sure you say, I'm coming down. You don't want to hit nobody in the head by mistake. You don't want to startle nobody or startle the talent. If you're walking with something sharp, you want to yell out points, or if you're coming from behind, even from behind somebody, just say right behind.
Don't say it. Don't you say it. Left. Come on!
Communication, you can't communicate enough. So make sure you're over-communicating. Over-communication, so just make sure you're communicating with your department head or somebody around you. Next rule, make sure you take down your cords. Cords can be a hazard. I see it all the time. I've even tripped over cords quite a few times. So just make sure you're taking down your cords. You don't want to trip over them. You don't want other crew members to trip over them. You don't want talent tripping over them. And if it's got a secure connection, it can knock over some very expensive gear. So do your best to tape down the cords and just keep things safe. And I suggest, so everybody likes to use this tape for some reason, regular gaff tape. This tape is very, very expensive, and this is more so for like heavy duty. You know, if you're tying down, you want to tape something down that's heavy duty, you don't want it going nowhere. That's what you want to use this gaff tape for. But for cables or extension cables, stingers, wires, whatever you want to call it, if you're taping something down on the floor, you specifically want to use floor tape. It's not leaving a nasty like gook on your cables, it's not ripping your cables up. Like gaff tape will destroy your cables. This won't, it'll come off your cables nice and clean, and it's meant for the floor. It has a little extra width to it as well, so if you're taping up 4 or 5 cables, you're not using so much tape as you would with the other gaff tape. It's made by Eden Products. I'm not sponsored by this in any way. Okay, so my next rule for our film set etiquette is stay in position. You want to make sure you're in your position, you're at where you have to be at all times, especially while the camera's rolling. So if the camera is rolling, you do not want to be moving around, making noises.
Keep absolutely still. This vision's based on movement.
Because the floor can make noise, you can bump into something and make noise. Our bodies just naturally make noise. So do your best, stay in position, stay quiet as a mouse, especially when that camera's moving. But when the camera's not moving, if your job is like completed or you're waiting by for the next task or whatever, just make sure you're staying in your area where people can find you, people can communicate with you in case they need you to do something. So make sure you stay in the location. In case you're done your work, you don't want to wander off in case somebody needs you for something else. Either have a walkie with you or stay by somebody with a walkie. You don't want to get lost in the sauce, so just make sure you're by somebody at all times or within your department's area. While we're talking about departments, the next rule is respect everyone's department. If you're in the camera department, respect the sound department, and don't be walking up to the actors, moving their lavs around, changing things like, oh, I see this on camera, so the lav gotta go over there, this, and that. No. Let the sound guy, like if there's something, if the boom's in picture, if the lav's in picture, or whatever the case may be, ask the sound guy to fix it. Don't step out of your role, that's my son again. Don't step out of your role. Let the sound guy do his job. Same goes for every department. Don't move things on set or in a scene without talking to the prop master or having the art department do it, because 1, continuity, 2, if it's not your department, dude, just respect the other person's department.
Don't ever, ever, ever touch my drum set.
It may be there for a specific reason why. It may be there for the next scene. It doesn't matter why it's there. If it's not your job, don't touch it. If you have questions, ask those questions to either the department head or someone within that department that may be able to fulfill those questions. Yeah, for another example, like just don't go up to the director of photography or cinematographer and be like, you know what? I really like the shot that you're getting, but I think the shot over here would be better. This, and that. Like everybody, like there's times on set where DPs or somebody may value your opinion, but if you're not in the camera department, if you're not the director or whatever, don't start telling other people how to do their job. It can come off as slight disrespect or you trying to step on other people's toes. So just keep that in mind. I feel like this is a very, very important rule, but it's also very overlooked very often. If gaffer, grip, DP, director, if anybody asks for a C-stand, so like just make sure our C-stand etiquette is on point. Bring over the entire C-stand. So that means the stand with the legs, with an extension arm, goes on the extension arm, as well as a sandbag. You don't want to bring over just a C-stand with no extension arm or no sandbag, because what if they have to rig something up over an actor, or just rig anything up and now oh, go back, give me an extension arm, go get me a sandbag. You don't want to be running back and forth. Like I said before, every minute on set is crucial. So you want to be saving yourself, the DP, the director, you want to be saving everybody as much time on set as possible. So make sure you're following your C-stand etiquette and getting everything that goes with the C-stand over to its proper place. The rule is, it's paying attention or be attentive. You don't want to be the guy that's on his cell phone the entire time, scrolling through Instagram, scrolling through Twitter, or whatever it is you guys scroll through nowadays. Like I said before, in order to run a movie, it takes a well-oiled machine. So you can't be lollygagging, scrolling through your phone, missing cues. If the director's calling you, if somebody's calling you, you you're on your phone, you don't know what's going on. If you're not paying attention to the scene or paying attention to the screen of the scene, then you could be missing some details within your department. All eyes are important, so just make sure you're being attentive, you're paying attention, and you're not that guy in the corner that's just on their cell phone. My next rule is, I feel like this isn't just the on-set rule. You can take this to anywhere, but come with a positive attitude and keep a positive attitude. You don't want to bring your problems from home on set. So if your girlfriend or boyfriend broke up with you, you don't want to come to set and be like, oh, fuck the world, or fuck this, or fuck that, I'm not gonna do this, or I'm gonna just move slow, or I'm gonna give everybody attitude, and this and that, because, you know, your life sucks at the moment. Like, that's not everybody else's problem on set. We're all here to make a dope product. We're all here to make a great film. So let's make that film. Leave your problems at home. You deal with that when you get home. But when you get here, you know, let's work hard. Let's have a good time. If you're positive, most likely the whole set's gonna be positive. So don't be that one bad apple to throw the set the wrong way. So my last rule, but my most important rule, is safety first, guys. Just make sure you're following all safety measures. You're taping down your cords. If you're looking at the call sheet, you know where the nearest hospital is. If there's scenes with stunts in them, just make sure you're either talking to stunt coordinators, you're talking to whatever proper authorities you need to talk to make sure these scenes go through safely. You don't want no one getting hurt here, guys. Trust me. So safety first. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed what you heard, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell in the corner for whenever I drop a new video, you get that notification. I'm Steve and Michael, and this is Filmmaking for Dumbasses.